Hey friends, Happy New Year. I'm recording this on New Year's Day, and this is going to be a little bit different video than my normal art videos that I post. I've been reflecting a lot on 2024, thinking about what's coming for me in 2025, and I thought I would share just what I've been up to and what's coming. So here we go. I had to take notes because 2024, there's been a lot. Mostly really good stuff. Some closing chapters of parts of my life that I'm moving on from, and I'm pretty excited about what 2025 might bring for me. So let's do a quick recap. As I said, I had to write it down because there was so much. So I'm just going to go month by month. In January 2024, it was a big month for me as a mom. Carson moved out and got his own apartment, and he is just doing so well. I am so proud of him. He is doing great at his job. He's had several promotions. He just recently had a pretty significant promotion, and he's got some really good goals for 2025, and I'm just super proud of him that he's making it on his own. So if you're watching this, Carson, super proud of you, bud. In February, I spoke at an HR conference in LA. I was asked to be a speaker and to moderate a couple of panels, and that was fun, traveling to downtown LA. My talk went really well, got a lot of great feedback from it, and it was also really fun. That's something that I enjoy a lot, and I hope to do more of in 2025. In March, I signed a lease on an apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment in the NoDa neighborhood of Charlotte. And NoDa is kind of the arts district. There's a lot going on. I love it. It's super walkable. I'm looking out my window right now. I can walk to restaurants and shops and lots of trails around here to take Coco for walks. So really liking it. But it has been an adjustment. The last time I lived in an apartment was in 2021, temporarily, when we moved to Charlotte. We lived in an apartment in South End in Charlotte, but this is home now. And it has been an adjustment. I don't know that I am an apartment girly, but the amenities are great, I'll tell you that. And it doesn't suck to not have any home maintenance to do. That's pretty awesome. So Isabel and I did kind of a slow move. We moved over the months mostly moved in March, and we were pretty much totally moved in April. And then in April, my good friend Yona came to visit me, and we did a long weekend trip to Savannah, Georgia. We drove down from Charlotte, and Isabel and Coco came with us too. Highly recommend Savannah. It was super fun. It's a beautiful city. The historical district is pretty well maintained, and just, it's beautiful. The trees, oh my gosh, the trees are incredible. And Coco and I took an early morning walk from our Airbnb to Forsyth Park, which if you are familiar with the movie or the book, for that matter, of Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, it's set in Savannah. And the fountain in Forsyth Park, we pretty much had Forsyth Park all to ourselves. So it was pretty sweet. Highly recommend. And it's always great to see my friend Yona. She's just such a terrific person, and so fun to be around. In May was Isabel's 18th birthday. I can't even believe that I have 2 adult children now. It's just wild to me how fast the time flies. Isabel requested for her birthday that she and I go to the Shaky Knees Music Festival in Atlanta. So we drove there for the long weekend, stayed in a hotel in downtown Atlanta, and had just a really great time. Definitely made a lot of memories. One in particular, there was a torrential downpour, like literally within the span of 5 minutes. It went from nice, we were sitting on the grass without jackets, to just absolutely raining buckets. Thunder, lightning, the whole 9 yards. We got soaked, but it was still just super, super fun. And it was great to be with Isabel for her birthday. So that was awesome. In June, I started getting our Charlotte house ready to put it on the market. There was quite a few projects that we had to do. Did a lot of purging. We purged a whole bunch of stuff when we moved from California to Charlotte. So it was shocking to me how much more stuff I purged to fit it all into our apartment here in Noda. But yeah, toiled away at that. There were a lot of projects. And then in July was a pretty big month personally. If you aren't aware, I recently separated from my husband of many, many years. We were married for almost 30 years, and it was just time for us to go our separate ways. And we settled our divorce settlement in July. So that was a pretty big milestone that honestly was stressing me out quite a bit. So it was a big weight off of my shoulders to get that completed and kind of close the chapter on that. Did a lot more house stuff, getting it ready to put it on the market. And then in August, Isabel and I did a big trip to Washington State, and Carson also was there. He flew to California to road trip from California up to Washington State with his dad. And we met up in the mountains. I rented an Airbnb in the Cascade Mountains on Fish Lake, and it was just gorgeous. My friend Yona came over from Seattle and spent the weekend with us there. We went on a lot of really cool hikes. Yona and I went on some Forest Service roads. She showed me some of her favorite primitive campsites. So looking forward to being able to do some camping with Yona, hopefully this summer. Yay. Sort of a little preview, a hint of what's to come in 2025. In August, we did the Washington trip. So got to see a lot of friends and family, and it was just a really great trip. And if you've never been to Washington State, August is, in my opinion, the number one time to go there. The weather was great. We were in the mountains, we went to the ocean. Mostly we stayed at my mom's place, kind of home base was in the Olympia area, and went to the farmer's market, and it was just a fantastic trip. And then when we got back from Washington State, pretty much immediately after that, my friend Angie, who lives on Maui, Hawaii, she was on the mainland to go to a wedding, I think in Michigan. And she was like, hey, since I'm here, can I just pop on over to Charlotte and hang out with you for a bit? And I was like, yeah. So she actually stayed with me for 2 weeks, and that was really, really fun. We explored Noda, my new neighborhood. We were able to walk to all the restaurants and stuff. It was prime pool weather, so we got to enjoy some time by the pool. We went up into the Pisgah National Forest, which is near the Blue Ridge Parkway. So if you're familiar with Hurricane Helene and all the damage that was done, right in that area. And we went on this beautiful hike to a waterfall, and it was just gorgeous. But loved having my friend Angie here visiting me, and I cannot wait until I get to go visit her in Hawaii again. And also a special treat, I got to meet up for dinner with my friend Michelle, who happened to be in Charlotte with her family from Amsterdam. She's lived in Amsterdam for several years, and so it was super cool to be able to meet up with Michelle and her family and kind of catch up and see what she was up to. We used to work together long time ago at Starbucks, and we've just kept in touch all of these years. So that was super cool. September, was a lot of weekend days by the pool. It's gorgeous in September in Charlotte, so I took advantage of that. And pretty much every Saturday and Sunday morning, I was out by the pool. And I can't even believe it that in this apartment complex, I would go out there like when the pool would open up at like 10 a.m. and I would literally be the only person out there. Usually about the time I was ready to wrap it up around noon was when, all the kids would start trickling in and claiming their spots, but it was awesome. Loved it. And more house stuff to get it ready to put on the market. Another cool thing that I got to do in September was attend a Kamala Harris rally here in Charlotte. Very last minute, didn't even know it was happening until something popped up on my social media feed, and I was like, I'm gonna go, and I did. And went by myself, and it was really cool, and I'm glad that I did it. And then I think it was honestly, it's a blur. I can't even remember if we put the house on the market, if it was September or October that we put the house on the market. But at any rate, sold the house. Thankfully, we were so fortunate. We sold the house, put it on the market on a Friday, and got a full price offer within a couple of days, and then closed about 3 weeks later. So that was so awesome. And big shout out to our real estate agent, who just was phenomenal to work with. If you need a real estate agent in the Charlotte area, let me know, because I will hook you up with my agent, who was just awesome. He just went above and beyond. He was fantastic. Cannot recommend him enough. Moving on to October. In October, I turned 56, and I celebrated my birthday by taking a trip with Isabel to go see one of our favorite bands, Nothing But Thieves. We've been waiting for them to come to the States. They're a band from England, and they don't come to the States that often. So they weren't playing a Charlotte show. So we were like, okay, do we go to Atlanta? Do we go to New York City? Decided to go see them in Orlando at the House of Blues. So we spent a couple days in Orlando, and that was really awesome. They were great live. Highly recommend Nothing But Thieves. Check them out. And then moving into November, Carson had a big birthday. He turned 21, so now he's legal. He's legal to drink, although he's such a good guy. So very responsible. He hardly ever does, even though he can. Bummer and also blessing, let's say, is that in November I was notified that my position at Krispy Kreme was going to be eliminated. There was a big management restructure. And if you are a Krispy Kreme shareholder, if you follow Krispy Kreme on NASDAQ, you'll know that the stock not doing so well. I'm not sharing anything that's not public knowledge, but kind of struggling. So they did a big restructure, and as a result of that, my position was eliminated. And honestly, my first reaction was that it was a total gift, because I've been really contemplating what I want to do professionally. Do I want to, how much? It wasn't really a question of, do I stay with Krispy Kreme forever and ever? I knew that was not what I was going to do, but it was more a question of, do I go now or do I wait a couple of years? Think I was kind of going back and forth. So thank you, universe, for helping me make that very difficult decision. Because really it's given me the opportunity to be able to take a pause and first kind of relax and rest and rejuvenate for a little bit, because it was pretty stressful. So I was pretty stressed out. And then, I've got at least a good year that I can take to figure out what I want to do next. Do I consult? Do I coach? Do I get another job in corporate America? Do I work for a nonprofit? Do I try to make a go of it as a full-time artist? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I feel super fortunate that I've got time to be able to figure that out and really be thoughtful about it. So, but that was a pretty big life change there. December, I started out the month going through a DISC coaching certification workshop. And if you're not familiar with DISC, it is a very HR geek thing, sort of thing to do. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And also my mom came to visit for the last 2 weeks of December. She spent a week with Isabel and I here in Charlotte. And then she spent a week with my sister in Fayetteville, and we were able to have Christmas together on Christmas Day in Fayetteville at my sister's house. So that was really great, and we had a fantastic visit with my mom. Was really thankful to have her here. So yeah, so I was really fortunate that I got to enjoy the holidays really without working, because I'm pretty much all wrapped up at Krispy Kreme. My official last day is January 3rd, but I didn't really have much to do, so I got to spend a lot of time with my mom. I've been able to spend a lot of time with Isabel. We've taken up crochet. We've got back into practicing our guitar. I've been able to get in, a lot of walks with Coco, which has been really, really awesome. So for me, December has just been a great month. I've really enjoyed it. It's been super, super mellow. And speaking of Coco, we ended up the year with my poor doggo getting very sick. Nothing serious. She's fine now, but that was a rough week. A lot of poop, a lot of puke, a lot of sleepless nights, emergency vet visit, but now she's good to go. Back to her, almost 100% back to her normal self. And that pretty much brings us to now, January 1st, 2025, and I can't even believe it's 2025. So what is coming in 2025? You might be asking yourself. Well, what's coming is that for sure, Isabel and I are going to move back to Washington State, specifically to the Olympia area. That's where my mom lives. That's where my stepmom lives. And I just really want to be closer to both of them. And bonus, because the college that Isabel wants to go to, Evergreen State College, is also in Olympia. So Isabel and I will relocate back to Washington, hopefully at some point within the next 3 or 4 months. My goal is to, when my lease is up in my apartment in April, that I don't have to renew my lease. That's my goal. That's the plan. We'll see how that works out. And then figure out what I'm doing with work-wise. I feel like I have a lot of options, and I'm, going to take my time figuring it out. I'm pretty sure I don't want to go back into a corporate gig. Now, I reserve the right to change my mind on that. If it was the right company, the right role, I would entertain that. But at this point in time, I'm thinking it probably looks more like maybe starting my own coaching or consulting company, or maybe working for a nonprofit, or maybe I get a part-time job. I've joked that, I've worked in coffee, I've worked in wine and spirits, I've worked in, the donut biz, so I've got sugar covered. So that's 3 pretty major vices. So maybe if I do a corporate gig next, maybe it needs to be like a casino, like gambling or weed or something like that. I don't know. I feel like I might need to round out my my vice experiences in my career, but who knows? Or maybe I just take a part-time job and chill and make art. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm excited for 2025. And if you are interested in following my journey to see how I navigate all of these transitions, you are welcome to come along for the ride. Subscribe if you want to be notified when I post a new video. My goal is to post weekly. Sometimes it might be posting about my art, which is typically what I've been posting about. I might post about cool books that I'm reading. I might post about what's going on with my career decisions. I might post about my travels. I don't know. There's a bajillion things I could post about. Maybe I post about music and the shows that I'm seeing. I saw a lot of live music in 2024 that I didn't even list in my month by month. So who knows? But if you want to, follow along as a 50-something newly single woman navigates some pretty major life transitions, come along for the ride. With that, I will close out this video, but I wish everyone much love and peace and joy and success in 2025. Peace out.